in exactly 3 minutes, Giles will be here. He's very prompt.
Well, punctuality must be his only virtue.
Perhaps we should inform his arresting officers. Maybe they'll be more lenient with him. Oh, Brooke, isn't this exciting?
Yeah, trying to nab one of the bad guys, I have to admit, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, yes, what a crime-fighting team we make. You and I and Edmund, why, we're nothing short of sensational.
And Phoebe, knock it off.
Knock what off?
This team concept that you have, always putting me on the bench next to Edmund.
I'm only stating an obvious fact.
Look, I'm not even an essential part of this. I happened to stumble onto it by accident.
Now, don't you underestimate your part. It's because of you and you alone that Giles was convinced that Eduardo was what he was supposed to be, my gigolo. Darling, you were sensational. There he is. Well, it's time, showtime. Oh, my goodness. There's places, everyone. Now, don't bust your line.
I'll do my very best. Mr. Westfall to see you, madam.
Oh, thank you,
Mr. Westfall.
Sarah. Oh, Mr. Westfall, how delightful it is to see you again.
You promised to call me Giles.
Oh, yes, Giles. Well, thank you for coming right over.
Oh, as soon as I got your message, I came over.
Oh, well, excuse the early hour, but I just had to see you. There's something I have to tell you, and I couldn't wait another second. I won't be investing in your Willow Lake acres.
Mrs. Wallingford, I must confess I'm stunned.
Well, I felt you should know it right away.
Well, yes, but you seem to be so excited about the whole concept of sumptuous dignity.
Oh, but that was before my awakening, because suddenly sumptuous dignity sounded so stuffy and old, especially for a hot one like me, somebody who is a woman who's still throbbing with a life force undiminished.
Mrs. Wallingford.
Oh, call me Phoebe. Everybody does.
Phoebe, I would very much regret seeing you lose out on this golden opportunity. I've come to admire you as a person.
Well, of course you have.
And I would feel that I've let you down somehow.
Oh, no, you dear little man, no. It's just that I've been advised not to invest in your development.
Oh, someone is doing you a grave injustice. May I ask you who gave you this advice?
Oh, my decision is firm, like the rest of me. No, I've quite made up my mind. I know it's a disappointment to you, dear, but you'll just have to content yourself with an occasional glimpse of me from the other side of the lake.
Ms. English, you haven't uttered a single word. Perhaps refusing you an interview wasn't a good idea. This advice for your aunt is totally contrary to her best interests.
I had nothing to do with it. I promise you that.
Oh, heavens, no.
No, my Aunt Phoebe rarely listens to a word that I say.
Oh, all right. It was Eduardo, dear darling Eduardo. So wise, so je ne sais quoi.
Why? Why did he give you this advice?
Well, he awoke me. And as he explained, it was just exactly on time. He showed me that an unfettered spirit like myself needs to be free to roam and to continue to grow. I'm sorry, but I'm just all wrong for your geriatric comfort zone.
And Phoebe, you are not thinking in the long term here.
Well, exactly. Ever since my awakening, I have been living in the moment. And your moment is up, Giles. Now, will you be kind enough to show him to the door for me?
Call me later.
Oh, darling, I don't see how I could possibly have the time. Eduardo is coming to give me my tennis lesson, and I have to change into something comfortable. He says he wants to work on my net game. Oh, no telling what that could lead to. Thanks for coming. Ta-ta.
I hope you understand.
I understand only too well.
Oh, my poor Aunt Phoebe.
No,
what a shame, really.
It's more than that. Is there some place that we could go and talk in private?
Well, anywhere but here.
Precisely. I mean, you know the area. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, yes, we could talk at my house.
Oh, splendid.
Well, it's not very far away. You can follow in your car.
Delighted.
Atta girl, Brooke. Reel the sucker in.
What a lovely home.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Westfall. What did you want to talk about?
Please understand that I'm speaking to you out of a sincere concern for your aunt. Don't you think that her dear Eduardo is exerting an, well, shall I say, undue influence on her?
Oh. Finally. Thank you. I'm not the only one who thinks this Eduardo character is ruining her life. I'm telling you, ever since he came into the picture, oh, it's been impossible.
Her awakening, yes.
Oh, I can't tell you what a relief it is, finally, to talk to somebody about this. I have been so uncomfortable with that man. But I thought, you know, it's not my place. I should stay out of it. I should look at the bright side. You know, if she's happy, then it's all for the best.
Well, regarding Mrs. Wallingford, she is a woman who obviously, as the saying goes, has been around.
You can say that again.
But if this was just merely a matter of an affair of the heart, that would be one thing. But this dear Eduardo is influencing her finances.
I don't know what to do.
Now, working closely as I do with the elderly, I've developed a strong bond with them. And I hate it when I see the older members of our society being taken in by unscrupulous poseurs like this Eduardo.
I hate it, too.
I mean, it's absolutely heartbreaking.
The worst thing is that she will not listen to reason. No one can say a word against Eduardo. No one.
Have you ever considered taking a more custodial view of your relationship with your aunt? Now, I'm not a medical authority on the dementias that plague our seniors, but even I can see that your aunt isn't completely responsible.
What are you suggesting, Mr. Westfall?
Wouldn't Mrs. Wallingford be much safer and her future assured if she was in the protective atmosphere of Willow Lake Acres?
I will give it serious thought.
That's all I ask, for your aunt's sake, and for your peace of mind.
I'm making my life a mess, and it's me. It's me. It's totally my fault.
Dixie, what's going on?
I can't do this anymore. I cannot pretend that everything is fine, that I'm happy, and that life is progressing along normally when it is not. I was in New York for the view from the vineyards. Something just clicked inside with me and Tad. I still love him, Edmund. I still love him. I love him more than anything, and there's nothing I can do, and he certainly does not love me.
So that's why you're not going to California.
There's no way I can go. I can't go to that house and be there. I mean, that's where we were... I mean, the memory of that would just be all over me the minute I walked in the door. And I can't do that. I can't go out and put on an act for Ted and watch Brooke and Tad together or play cozy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought her name up.
No, that's not it.
Well, then what is it? There's something bothering you?
There's something you should know about Ted.
Well, tell me.
I'm not sure I should.
What, did Ted say something? Something about me?
Does this all boil down to you don't want anything to do with Ted?
Look, we've been through a lot together. And I will always care about him, but just as a friend.
Do you have any idea how dependent he is on you?
He was. He's doing much better now. You should see him read. He's doing great. He's getting along with Tad. He's made tremendous strides and everything. He doesn't really need my help anymore. And he's going to see that. He's going to realize that, and he is going to move on with his life.
I don't know what he's going to see if you pull out on him.
You still haven't told me what he said.
Well, let me put it this way. He doesn't see himself handling all this alone. Running the Orsini Vineyards, being Ted Orsini, is tied up with you.
I don't understand that. I don't understand how you could confuse that. I mean, I've always been perfectly straight with him.
Well, we all hear what we want to hear, you know, especially when a beautiful woman's doing the talking. I've done my share of selective listening.
I really feel that I've complicated things. At one point, I told Tad that I was interested in Ted romantically. I only had to do that in order for him to, you know, not catch on to why Ted and I were spending so much time together when I was teaching him how to read.
What a tangled web we weave. Dixie, if there's anything I can do to help you out of this mess, you let me know.
Well, there is an old Cooney saying, when in doubt for what to do nothing. And I think that if I just remove myself from the picture, this entire thing will fix itself.
How do you figure that?
Okay, picture this. Tad and Ted, they go to California. They do the business thing. Ted sees how good he is at it, and everybody sees how good he is at it. He sees the house. He remembers his childhood memories, the good ones. He remembers Nola, and he feels more and more like Ted Orsini. Well, then he realizes that what a great life he has.
And he just forgets about you.
No, he sees that he has a good life, and he doesn't need me in it.
Interesting supposition. But I have my doubts about the last part.
I mean, I've got to do something. I mean, after seeing Ted today, I mean, it's just clinched it. I've got to end this. And I think the best way to start doing that is to, tell Ted that I am not going to go to California.
Okay. Well, whatever you tell him, just try to be easy on him, okay?
Oh, absolutely. I will do it the best I can.
You take it easy on you, too.
Okay.
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
It was great. All I had to do was act like the concerned niece, and Mr. Westfall did the rest.
Oh, tell me everything.
Well, he's very concerned that your dear Eduardo has much too much control over your checkbook.
Oh, I'm sure he considers that his own private preserve.
Anyway, he thinks that I should take some action.
And do what?
Mr. Westfall thinks that I should declare you incompetent. He thinks you're off your rocker.
Why, the nerve of that man.
Listen, I think he's going to be making dear Eduardo an offer he can't refuse very soon. Listen, you know what? Maybe I should call Edmund and tell him.
Yes. Oh, no, I've a better idea. Edwin's going to be dropping by here in a little while. I have to get him settled into the carriage house, so I'll get him up to speed then.
Well, no, I don't mind calling him.
Oh, that's all right, dear. You've done enough.
I mean, you were just absolutely perfect this morning. We'll take over from there.
Well, listen, now Giles trusts me. I can't drop out now.
Well, aren't you supposed to be going to California with Tad?
Oh, you know, I almost forgot. Yes, I am.
Well, darling, don't you worry. We'll
Nail him for you. You just have a good time and let me know when you get back.
I will.
Safe flight.
Bye.
That Westfall creature sees you as the impediment to my fortune.
Well, you obviously gave a brilliant performance.
Why, Eduardo, darling, how nice of you to notice. I was rather getting into my role.
Yes, I could tell.
It's only a matter of time until you get an offer from Giles.
Then he implicates himself, and we've got him.
Oh, Edmund, we are superb players. And Brooke, she's the biggest surprise of all. She was marvelous.
Really? I'm sorry I missed it.
Well, ever since she almost slapped your face off, she has had him fooled.
Yeah, she almost did.
By any chance, did she call you and fill you in on the details?
No, she didn't.
Oh, bother.
Should she have?
Well, I was hoping.
You're always hoping.
I know, it's my nature.
Isn't Brooke going to California?
Evidently so. Oh, I hate to admit this. I really do, but I'm afraid that niece of mine simply cannot stay away from Tad Martin's side.